Good evening, everyone, and welcome to part 12 of TCG Plays Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright. How are we doing, chat? Only 1 minute late. Only 1 minute late. I thought it was going to be a bit of an issue. The PC started freezing up on me, but it seems to be working fine. Don't worry, guys. We shall be good to go. If you are new here or watching this on the replay and it's your first time seeing this channel, this is my second channel, my first channel, my main channel, I should say. Covers true crime. So you can go and check that out over on the links are in the description for that. But, you know, drop a subscribe over here and give this stream a like. And, you know, do all that fancy stuff that we ask you to do to get us on the algorithm, to make YouTube like us, because we're all trying to make it big here, aren't we? We're all trying. So let's see who we've got in tonight. We've got JFC, we've got Mergu, we've got Maverick, we've got Marina, we've got Mr. Gently Benevolent. How are we all doing? Oh, and we also have Not Moriarty as well. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. It feels like such a long time since I last spoke to you all. I hope everyone's having a good Friday. I actually had the day off work today, believe it or not, but I'm still going to rack up around about 20 hours overtime this week. Great stuff. That being said, it was actually a manic day. Oh, hang on. I had my drinks nearby, but I didn't. So it was my daughter's sports day today. So she went out there and actually absolutely smashed the competition, as you would expect. Janet, good evening, Janet. Let's get you in the blue crew as well. Actually, I would do, but hold on a minute. Right, okay. Can't put you in the blue crew just yet. Let's do it a different way. So the chat that I've got loaded up is on my main account, so I can't give people blues. Let me change that for you now, Janet, because we can't have you sitting there being the odd one out. It wouldn't be right. It just wouldn't be right. Yeah, and then after that, I've been out in the garden all day, and the weather hasn't exactly been nice for those trying to just get by, you know. So I am a little bit tired, but we shall persevere. We shall persevere. So I can't remember what happened where we left it off last time. I think we were in the courts. We were in the court going through the trial on the first day, and court got adjourned very briefly. Burnsy, good evening. How are you? Yeah, so court got adjourned, and I think it was only for like a 30-minute recess. And I think we're about to go back in. So let's go back in. Yeah, trial. Oh, last day of the trial. Yeah. So we might get a bit of trial and some investigation done today. So let's see how we go. February 23, 11:56 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. If you are enjoying the stream as well, if you're enjoying the series, there's a pinned comment up at the top there. If you want a tip, this channel isn't monetized yet, but we will be working on it. But you can donate to me. You don't have to. It's not obligatory, but it is appreciated. And I will tell you now, YouTube, Streamlabs do take a very, 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 very small cut in compared to YouTube. I think I heard someone say YouTube take 30% if you do a super chat, whereas I think Streamlabs only take about 3%. So yeah. But anyway, that's not why we're here. Mr. Wright, huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Pretty much. Yeah, same here, JC. You're getting better at turning Uncle CCG. Mate. One, it's all baby steps, mate. It's all baby steps. All baby steps. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Mr. Crime, so good of you to start streaming just as I've sat down with a cold cider. Oh, very nice. I have a lemonade and a cup of tea tonight. What are you drinking, chat? Let me know. Let me know. Apparently, she got off to the judge's chambers. Called off to the judge's chambers, let's just say. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Need more random capitalization on your video titles and you'll soon get there. Ah, that's the secret. Hola, partner. You say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a young'un, at least.
Officer Marshall.
Thought I'd come take a look-see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there, anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Phrasing?
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
Glug, glug. You don't say. Now don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow her at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler.
What?
So what do we got? So we've got Fanta and Subway cookies. Ooh, very nice. Coffee. We've got drinking 1 litre bottle of water that I put in the freezer. Oh, mate. Nice. Bit of ice cold water. Oh, mate, that sounds brilliant. At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth's seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. As I recall, the chief prosecutor was a wood. Her muffler is certainly worth paying attention to. Gently benevolent, you stop that right now.
So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken?
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you gotta just let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this.
So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee! I'm a good boy, Mr. TCG. Has anyone had frozen apple juice before? I swear down it's the best slushie. I haven't, but I'm not adverse to trying it. I'd like to resume? What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Uh-oh! Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue. Your lips are purple. You're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over. Your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen.
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself.
Excuse me? Knock, knock.
Uh-oh. Who's that? Who's there? What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. No, Edgeworth just let one rip.
Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in.
Who on earth is he? Fair enough, apple juice gives it that appley kick. One time I noticed some people forget to take their beer while getting off the train, so it became my beer. My beer. Possession is 9/10 of the law, as they say. I've had very cold apple juice in the single cup containers. Would have to stay in the hotel for 7 months. I would drink that every morning. Wow. I'm a free beer kind of guy. Yeah, so who on earth is this guy? Rising the temperature. Ah, it's you. What's with the weird alphabet community priest in the dock? He's not doing anything. Oh, Sorry I'm late, Archie. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, Archie. How you been? Swim much these days? Ah, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy schmizzy, Archie, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed.
Ajay seems to be his nickname for the judge.
I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Ah, so you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son.
Eh? Thanks. He has that look, TCG. You know I'm good at spotting these things. Well, let's see if you're right.
So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly!
Little Worthy?
Mr. Wright, you don't know the District Chief of Police?
Chief of Police?
He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district.
Orange Man bad? Maybe.
Who knows? Name's Gant, Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this.
Hey, that's my sister's muffler. Phrasing.
So Miss Starr wasn't just seeing things.
When the crime occurred, Miss Skye really was wearing that muffler.
Donald Grump. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. Oh, Little Worthy's car, on Little Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth? How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Well, didn't you hear me?
Yes. Yep, I can believe this guy would cover up grooming creeps. Well, I enjoy Mr. Trump. He's very funny. I think Sleepy Joe has had his funny moments. I'm going to bonk you lot on the head if you're going to start getting political. None of that.
Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
Which head are you bonking, TCG? Uwu. I'll bonk all your heads. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honor?
Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes, well, I think all you do is push that switch and...
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Dude. Phrasing. Is that the nickname he gives to his wife or something? Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Oh, right, it's doing it itself. Yeah, I could do this quicker. Game, I could do this quicker. Oh, right, okay, here we go. Right, let's have a look at this first of all. There's a small tag on this knife. It seems to say SL92. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. This game is almost as bad as a carry-on film for uwu phrasing. DL6 of DL6 incident fame. But it's strange. Huh? What is? I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this somehow. Carry on objecting. Oh, that's quite cool. Right, there's the little blade. What? Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife added to the court record. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department. See? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this case. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's a hush-hush information, Aji. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15? That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. When did Julian Clary get promoted to chief of police anyway? Oh, I don't know, darling, but I'll tell you this. I'm a very good chief of police. Order. Anyway, we at the department were all aflustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright? 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course. I just realised my view account's not popped up. Where is that? Why is that not there? Oh no, my view account's not. I just realised my view account isn't popping up. We got 7. It's definitely lit up. Right, okay. Come on. Browser settings. Oh. What a strange situation. Never mind. Right. I like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Oh, now it's popped up. There you go. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Don't know what I did to make that work, but it worked. Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. America is just big England anyway. No, not reason to visit. Excuse me. Special? Mm-hmm. Hard to come by this particular knife. Anywhere else? Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler. My God, phrasing! Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that would give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So, how were things down at the department? Chat, do we think we know what evidence we could be talking about, they could be referring to here? So we've got Goodman's ID, we've got the King of Prosecutors trophy, we've got Edgeworth's knife, we've got the parking stub, we've got the Blue Badger panel, we've got Goodman's autopsy report, we've got Goodman's note, we've got Lana's cell phone, we've got parking lot floor plans, we've got crime photo, we've got the victim's shoe, and we have the switchblade knife. Out of all of that, what do you think it could be?
That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation.
Something happened at the police department too, huh?
You got a good look in your eye there, Mr. Righto boy.
Butchered that.
You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto my boy.
Sharp, hungry. So, something did happen. And why wasn't I informed?
Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter. I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all.
Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day?
A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess.
On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department.
That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Archie?
I'm at a loss for words.
And the perpetrator?
Do you have a suspect?
Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, righto?
I suppose I could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case.
Oh, good one! This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing, and one thing only.
Chatteroonies. What is the evidence again, TCG? This guy's clearly lying. Right. So we've got, ignore the attorney's badge, we've got Goodman's ID, we've got the King of Prosecutors trophy, Edgeworth's knife, parking stub, Blue Badger panel, Goodman's autopsy report, Goodman's note, Lana's cell phone, parking lot floor plans, crime photo, victim shoe, and switchblade knife. But first, I can't do polls because I'm logged into the wrong account. So first person who posts in the chat, what question should we ask? Where the victim was found, how the victim was killed, when the victim died? What do we think would be the most relevant question at this point? Where the victim was found, how the victim was killed, when the victim died. Where? Okay, Murgoot jumps in with where, so we'll go with where the victim was found. So tell me, where was the victim found? Oh.
Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department.
The evidence room?
You wouldn't know about the evidence room, would you, Righto?
Can't say I've heard of it. I guess I should ask again once I learn a bit more about this evidence room.
There's something stranger about this than the place where the body was found. The time of the crime, 5:15? Scary coincidence, eh?
5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office.
What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances?
Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident.
It's not officially linked to this case here, so I can't talk much about it.
Oh. Excuse me. How can you say there's no connection?
How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, righto. You understand? Try to understand, righto. Well, if you can prove there is a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together. Whatever it is, I better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. One at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife. What was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out. Right. We'll go back here and then we'll ask how, because we might be able to get a second chance at it. Oh, okay. So we'll do how the victim was killed this time. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. So we'll go back, and then we'll ask the third question, which I think was, what time was it? Where we'll just... when the victim died. Here we go. Right, let's say. So when did the murder at the police department occur? Now that's a sharp question, righto. Very sharp. Well, my boy, you're going to love this. Okay. Right. Okie dokie. So, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between the knife and Goodman, I think this is where we go. Let's save it. So, we're going to present. And I think we're going to go with Goodman's note. Yes! Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife, this has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Ah, ha, ha! An honest-to-goodness what do you mean from Udgy? Ha! This is great! Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL9 too. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7 S 12 dash /2? Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around, and what do you get? Ha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order! Order! Well, Chief? Well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto. I win? Game is this guy playing? The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Let's press a little bit more. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say? Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Okay. Let's go here. And then let's ask more about the evidence room. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was... Okay, we've done all this bit. We've done all this bit.
I've got no idea what was going on with this game, but the banter was great in the chat and your voice of the game. Oh, thank you, chat. Damn it. Let's go with where the victim was found. So tell me, where was the victim found? Okay, we've done this. I can't speak on where the corpse was found. Okay. Wait a second, I've heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Present the knife? No, maybe we just press again, perhaps. Yes, okay, Chief. The defence's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coinkydink. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See? That's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet. And all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? Hold it. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to... Phrasing! You have to do everything properly. Oh well. Guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. I know what to ask, guys. I know what to ask. Okay. How about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. She won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Well, that's quite long. Phrasing. That's what she said. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82... I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Exactly, GB. I'm just about to. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department. 5842189. This indeed tells me something. Actually, it does, Your Honour. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. What does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something? What does it tell you? It tells me this fudger was murdered in 2 places at the same time. 5842189, baby. Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just... I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do.
police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Is this another Steel Samurai situation, moving the body around? Maybe. I actually remember very little in this case, so I'm learning along with you guys as well. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is that yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And? This means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I'd forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right, again. Edgeworth was at the police station. Someone dumped the body in Edge's trunk and he drove back to the prosecutor's office. Ooh, that's a good theory, Murgu. Let's see if that plays out. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So, what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in a completely different location? Order! 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 Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight? The grave error? Mr. Edgeworth? They're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Oh, Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait. Aha!
Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir. At the request of the chief, sir. I got your report, sir.
Oh, you don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. Meekins had a bandaged hand. Ooh. But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Skye incident. Detective Bruce Goodman, murdered in the police department's evidence room. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Gah! Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
They're calling V challenge, chat. In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law,
Well, Mr. Wright, Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Raito over here. Good job, Raito, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job? Kick V. No. No! Uh-oh. Edgeworth, mate, you've lost your mojo, son. It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumours? You weren't even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologise for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
The story about throwing cats to steal hanging rugs was hilarious. I've not heard that one. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honour. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. To be continued.
Shall we save the progress? I think we'll save the progress.
And we got through that with a clean bill of health as well. Right, let's crack on. February 23, 2:15 PM, Wright & Co. Law Offices.
Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused.
Huh? Let's see. Gosh, what is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 PM on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room.
What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car.
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least.
I wonder who they've arrested, by the way.
I wonder who they've arrested.
All right, let's do it.
Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this.
Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us.
All right, can we have a look? Oh, wait, can we have a look at the car now, or?
You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares?
Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie.
Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it.
That oil drum, was it empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister, erasing evidence at the crime scene. Never.
Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. People tried making cow bacon.
What? That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her.
Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away.
Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright.
Huh? What's that shit-eating grin for?
This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid.
Oh! Luminol? Joel Guy Jr. case springs to mind when we talk about luminol.
My oh my.
Bloody sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water.
Place that with one word. Phrasing.
Even if you can't see it, it's still there.
Wouldn't the police have already done these tests?
Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try.
Me? Why do I have to do it?
I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses.
Huh? You had an extra pair of those things.
To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it.
I enjoy eating animals, so try them all.
Like this, see? Press the A button to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some bloodstains.
Whee! Moving along at the speed of light. Look at me, I'm a shooting star. Shh. Look, guys. Meteorite! Actually, it's a meteor. Oh! We found some blood, guys. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So, is this a... I press an A button whenever I spray as well, TCG.
It's so... Ugh.
Emma, you're shaking.
It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood.
Scientific investigation in action. Ooh.
Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a bloodstain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course.
What's odd about this, scientifically? It's going to be the amount, isn't it? Let's be honest. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood?
I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe.
But it is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to be more blood than this.
Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm going to mark up the floor plans when we find the bloodstain, okay? See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right?
Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too.
I saved up my allowance to buy that.
Luminol testing fluid received from one very proud-looking Emma Skye. Proud indeed.
We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case.
It's almost like they're creating their own narrative, aren't they? Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day.
Yeah! It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it?
Guess I should give this spray on anything. Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious.
Huh? Oh, huh. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Starr! You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering.
Spray, 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 spray. Oh, she's put a name at the bottom. Someone used a marker to write their name on this. Emma Skye. Don't tell me you bring this with you everywhere you go.
Well, you never know where something might go down.
Just what kind of a world do you think we live in? The lunch lady with an OnlyFans is also a wood. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it's not letting me spray anything, okay. I suppose we're going to have to chat to her then, don't we?
You certainly put me in a tight spot today.
Phrasing. My apologies, Miss Starr, but...
No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that it wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable.
Always spraying a tight spot, Phoenix.
Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Skye stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Ah. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman.
I know this photograph has something important to tell us. What? Maybe we've got to present it to her.
So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes. It was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up.
Coughed it up?
They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Every day I drag the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect, and before long they called me the cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches.
And you were let go? Fired?
I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident.
SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... Let's see if I can produce the photo. Let's see.
If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes.
So you went straight to the scene of the crime?
I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murderer. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time.
That time?
SL9? What do you think about this? The SL9 incident is written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know.
Really?
That knife was evidence from that case. Oh, it was the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet.
Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? There we go. So it could have been either or, basically. Hey, Tash, how you doing? Leave the ducks alone. Who's hurting the ducks? Oh, ha! Someone eating ducks. I had duck for Christmas once. Yeah. Turkey, duck, and goose, I think it was. It was a chicken in a chicken. There was a bird in a bird in a bird. One Christmas. Very nice. I do like duck. I actually quite like eating duck. I don't eat it a lot, so when I do get to try it. Ducks are friends, not food. Well then, consider me a cannibal.
That incident really opened my eyes to the truth.
Oh no!
We're nothing to them. Disposable.
Nah, to be fair, I don't... It's not something I eat regularly. But I have had duck in the past.
We're nothing to them. Disposable.
Disposable? To who?
2 years ago. It was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it. On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed.
Executed?
Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. it doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred.
What? But the criminal was executed, right?
On the basis of evidence of a sort.
Oh.
Made up evidence.
What?
You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen. Others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well.
Wait, could it be?
Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean, Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall.
That deer and moose sausage sounds very delicious. Is it better barbecued? Ugh.
As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle.
Bonk.
Jake was particularly determined.
I bet he was.
And then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I.
You haven't forgotten our cell. You haven't forgotten our cell 9.
There was another side to that case, hidden side. That's what we're after now.
TCG ASMR going on here. Excuse me.
And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell. There is only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate.
She definitely has an OnlyFans, doesn't she? Miss Star's old boyfriends. How many does she have anyway? Let's put it this way, Phoenix. She's in the top 1%, isn't she? Let's be honest. Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence.
There has to be a connection. So, Rookie.
What?
It seems like you're serious about investigating this case.
Well, yes.
Then you should take this.
A Salisbury steak lunch?
I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat.
Ah, okay. Received from Miss Star. Excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood. Okie dokie.
Miss Star? Officer Marshall? Is he your... Are you going out?
Why do you want to know?
I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases. He was so nice. He got along so well with my sister. It made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then.
This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective.
But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see.
Thank you. She's going to make a move on him, isn't she? Officer Jake Marshall. Right. I think it's only appropriate. Oh, let's go. We'll go. Oh, I don't know. Excuse me. I think we'll go. We'll stop there. We'll go here first. Probably nobody here though. Yeah, it looks like Miss Skye is in questioning.
I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her.
How did you kill him in 2 places at the same time?
Can you imagine? How's she supposed to answer that?
Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Gantz say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder?
Let's come back later.
I figured as much. Let's go here. Let's go here quickly. And then we'll go back to the other places. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here.
Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department.
Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot.
Ugh, makes my head hurt.
Well, first things first. Let's go check out the police department crime scene.
Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up, or we could wind up dead.
I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday.
The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring.
I suppose it makes sense. The detective did get killed here after all.
So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Ah, here it is.
She's like a kid at an amusement park.
Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look.
Alrighty. Let's go. This looks like a repurposed version of our office. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric.
According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room.
So beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime.
It sure seems that way. Oh.
Oh. What's wrong?
It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight.
If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where is the guard?
I have a feeling I know who he is already.
Gee, I wonder who it could possibly be.
Yipes! They sure are prickly. They must be the real deal.
I would think just one big one. I would think just one big one would be sufficient. Oh my God, phrasing people. That's what she said.
These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually.
What, they had a lot of pricks? Stop it! How so?
Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her.
Are you saying she's a hedgehog? I'm not so sure I see the resemblance.
It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. There's a security guard uniform hanging here.
Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly.
Leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A paunchy, a paunchy, pinchy... Oh, I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it.
It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. It looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here.
There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of here.
I bet we could. So, the evidence room is beyond that door.
Let's just walk in. It won't open.
You thought it'd open?
I think we need someone's permission to go in there first.
Nah.
Look! On the floor! A lasso!
It looks like it's set up to trap something.
A trap? Here? Oh, wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed.
You sure have an active imagination. Let's see what we can do.
This swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon.
But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way.
Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch.
I'd say it'd be more of a myself. Right. I think this person's got a drinking problem. Okay. This place is charged with frantic energy as always.
Please?
Huh? Wasn't that... Oh, one steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you.
Detective Gumshoe.
Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale.
I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking.
Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence.
The criminal? You mean...
You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal?
On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. Excuse me. And the perpetrator. Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
It's the biggest scandal that hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy.
But Detective Gumshoe, who was it?
Listen, pal. All I know is I need me a steak lunch. Pronto. Standing around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly.
Oh, okay. Bye then.
But wait, don't leave.
If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figured he'd be down there having a good cry. Later.
Excuse me. So he ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Right, now we go back to... Yeah. And then we move to the detention center. 3 guesses as to who's been arrested. Still, I do feel Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah. I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. What was that?
Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator. I'd say I was the perpetrator again, sir. That's what I'd say. Hi, greetings, sir.
Wait, I know who you are.
Excuse me, but this is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I got your report, sir.
Officer Veekins! So you're a guard here at the detention center?
No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir.
Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report.
No, sir, how should I say this?
Wait, he isn't, is he? You, Officer Veekins. You didn't, did you?
Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir.
What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Let's have a chat to Officer Veekins.
Sir, I'm a patrolman with the general affairs, sir.
Oh, I can hear you fine, Officer Veekins. It's quite fitting, actually, that the guy with the high-pitched voice would also have a megaphone, which bangs on our eardrums.
I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir.
So, normally there's a guard at the evidence room?
That's right, sir. Because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall, sir.
Marshall?
Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Ow!
What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? Yeah, what happened to his hand?
After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center.
How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Ooh, good question.
Sir, there was no one to punish me, sir. So I did what I could do to wrap it up, sir.
A bandage on his hand? Just like Miss Skye. Yet another similarity between this case
and the one at the prosecutor's office.
First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. No, actually, no. Let's talk about the victim first. I don't mean to pry, but you were the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right?
Sir, please don't look at me with those sad pipey at dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as a perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim.
I would, but you happen to be in detention and alive and well at that.
Ah, yes, well, that is true, sir. I suppose you could say that.
Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman?
Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side.
So, you didn't know him?
Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature of comforts.
You can say that again.
I don't know any detectives.
So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him?
Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir.
At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Yeah, anyway, about your hand. That happened during the course of the crime.
Well, you see, sir,
Don't you think you should just confess?
But, but there was nothing I could do.
Nothing you could do?
Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious.
The next thing you knew,
Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared.
What?
And when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hands, sir.
Foam nail vibes.
Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt?
The victim's body disappeared. That's some story. Can I present any evidence? Do you think you could take a look at this?
Hey! That's it, sir. That's it. That's it.
That's what?
My head was blank until this very moment. But, sir, now I remember. I remember, sir.
You mean you remember what happened?
Correct. That card was the cause of it all.
This ID card?
Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing.
I better pry into this one a little deeper. Okay. Crime details. Can you tell me more about what... can you tell me what it is you do remember?
Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost. I'm a lost little patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room. And that's why...
Oh, and that's why you thought he looked suspicious.
Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card.
Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far.
That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do?
That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me.
What?
Sir, I assure you, I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him.
Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him.
Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir.
What happened then?
Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white. When I awoke, I was here.
Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma?
Well, let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim whom he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card.
We are Siamese, if you please.
Ah, yes. But I love a bit of Aristocat. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died.
That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines.
Huh? But you still ended up here.
They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said.
But you don't remember the events clearly.
No, but the videotape is quite clear.
Huh? Videotape?
From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there. It's me. It's on tape.
And you waited until now to tell us this?
I'm sorry. Really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it.
No thanks. I have my own. Well, guess we better go check out the crime scene. Right. Back to the crime scene then. I think it was here. And then it was here. No, it wasn't. Ah, here? Oh, hang on a minute. Oh. Okay, right, hold on. Maybe we go here? Ah, here we go. Yeah, save it. There we go. Right.
Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk.
It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all, You know what it means if there is anything missing? Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats, under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Ah ha ha! Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Gant. Reporting for duty, sir.
Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright?
Righto. Righto then, righto.
Is Edgeworth going to be okay?
Oh, worthy. Oh, you know. They're doing a little inquiry committee with him.
Sounds like an inquisition.
Yep. Well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident at Gord Lake? It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right? Righto? Oh, Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court you fixed it so that he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is a bit of a turmoil, as you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Edgeworthy, or for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean. There being the prosecutors, I assume.
Scientifically speaking, it's impossible.
Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding secrets. One thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. But you know,
It's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives trapped shut.
Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier.
Huh? You saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do.
Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him.
Can we? I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Oh, sorry, Writer. I'm through with that stuff there, I say. Okay. The guy who can't sit still, does he mean Detective Gumshoe? Either him or the dancing blue badger. Suppose. Okay, we'll go through the cycle. Just so you know, guys, the stream might be a little bit shorter than normal. Just because I am very tired. And I've got to be up early in the morning. So what have you guys got planned for the rest of your days then? Right, so it's not that. Not that. Okay, not that. Not that. No, not that. Definitely not that. Right. Oh, sorry, you had to see that.
What exactly did the chief of police want you to do?
Well, see over there? That's Detective Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can.
So, nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here?
Of course not. Well, except for this.
What? You kept something?
Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report. Oh. Oh. Excuse me.
But it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21. Better make a note of that just in case.
Goodman's lost item report added to the court record. Let's have a look at it. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. But before I do that... Okay. Right, let's go back to the crime scene then. Excuse me. Come on. Let's go. Okay, let's go back to the other crime scene. No clues there. We did this last time. We searched that. Oh, I know what we could do. Yes.
Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. I can't hear anything. My ears. No, my ears. Maybe it's due to the barometer.
Okay, yep, no, we've talked about. Right. Can we have a look at the car now?
That's about as red as a sports car can get.
Yep, it's pretty red, all right.
The body was found in Edgeworth's car trunk, and the lock on the trunk was broken too. So the question is, why did Miss Skye choose his car? So what model car is it? I think it was called a sedan or a coupe or something like that. Those are car types, Mr. Wright, not models. You're a guy, aren't you, Mr. Wright? You're supposed to know these things.
Or maybe it's about time I got my driver's license.
That's where we found the note.
221 SL9. The SL9 incident. A case that was due for transferal the day of the murder. And the detective in charge of the case was the victim. Right, I wonder what kind of case this SL9 incident thing was. It's kind of hard to guess just knowing the case number. So, maybe... TCG, what's your weekend plans? So, overtime in the morning, barbecue in the afternoon, and then I'm going to be working a little bit on my super secret project. That is not true crime related. And that's all I'm saying for now. That is all I'm saying for now.
This is where the cars leave the lot.
The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance.
What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit.
Or maybe it's both. Kind of a dual purpose?
Aha! The theory of relativity.
What?
I've got to write this down. Hey, Mr. Wright. Maybe, you know, was Mr. Relativity German or was he British? Mr. Relativity? Are you sure that was his name?
Trying to think if there's anything else that we've got that can okay. Nothing. Let's move there. No, we've already examined this area. Right. We must have to do something at the crime scene. I thought it was going to let us examine the telephone for evidence. Okay. Is there anything else? Anything else that I might have missed? Ah, here we go. Permission to enter. Excuse me. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favour. Well, I never thought the day would come when Righto asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Yes? Now, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? If anyone asked me, sir, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead. Investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out.
It just goes to show, you never know until you ask.
And for you, here, you can borrow this.
Huh? Hey! This is a detective's ID card, isn't it?
That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it.
Yes, sir. It's an honour.
You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. Okay, he's gone.
It looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID.
You seem happy.
Yes, sir. Because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir.
Oh dear. Right, okay. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. Let's try again.
Right. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. Won't open. Aha! The card reader is turned off, see?
What is that security guard thinking?
Howdy, partners. Well, well. What's made my bambina's sky so grey?
Officer Marshall, why does it have to be him?
What's that? What's that? Why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon.
We're here to investigate the crime scene.
Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest? That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts.
Yeehaw!
Yeah. Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. Crime scene's awaiting.
Looks like the card reader's on again.
While we're here, I was wondering if we could... oh, sorry. Wrong accent.
While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions.
Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres.
You're busy then?
Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you.
Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. Well, if he's not in a good mood, let's give him a lunch.
That smell. Ah, it reminds me of Texas.
So Officer Marshall, you're from Texas?
No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby?
Yeah, Miss Starr.
What's this?
What's wrong?
Filet steak lunch? I see. I see.
I don't see. I don't see, actually. Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall.
All right, Bambino. You win. Ask anything.
Finally, it seems this. He's willing to talk. Right, then we better start talking to him then. Excuse me. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right?
You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it.
Actually, Officer Veekins at the detention center told us.
Ah, that poor little doggy. That poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly.
Well, the correct pronunciation is Veekins.
Come on. Come on.
He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this.
But since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago,
well, it might not look it, but I lost my 5 for the job, you know.
So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place?
Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy.
Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy.
There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job at keeping an eye on the place.
You mean the security camera system?
I don't take to machines much. Kind of like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, huh?
Right, Marshall. I will enjoy my spicy meaty pizza now. Oh, mate, save us a slice, Burnsy. Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago.
It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. Ugh. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The Evar case? That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines don't get on well. So, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. You walk so Gordon Ramsay could run. No pineapples. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Veekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased after every few hours. And Officer Veekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door. Oh, excuse me. The card reader leaves a record of every ID that passes through. Let's have a look then. So, this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina. I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Oh. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Yeah, I think you might be able to. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Where is Mima? Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence we keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault of the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. I see now. Right. Transferal is like a funeral for all classes. Hey, welcome back, Maverick. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be investigated. Or reinvestigated. And that happened at SL9 2 days ago. Right. So let's have a quick look at the ID cards. We've got this one here. Oh. Okay. Turned on the card reader. Go have yourself a ball, partners. And I have the ID card. A real ID card. Let's get this investigation started, shall we? You sure have a lot of monitors in here. There's 8 cameras in the evidence room and all. 1 for each section. Which monitor shows the section where the crime took place? Oh, fair enough. Why do candles sit before the rains come? It's not for man to know. Ooh. Unless you're the security guard responsible. Right. Should just be able to go in now. Oh, okay. So I should just be able to go through. Right. I'm going to save it here. Right. I did say that it might be a little bit of a shorter stream just because of how knackered I am. So what we'll do, I think this is a good spot to leave it. All right. What we will do is we will come back tomorrow night, Saturday. Okay. And I will try and stream a little bit earlier. So what we will do is we will find out what is beyond that door. We should be able to move into the evidence room. So yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it here. All right. Thank you ever so much. Apologies, it's a bit of a shorter stream. I'm just energy. I need my sleep, man. I need my sleep. But we will be. I'll get this loaded back up, and we'll do it again tomorrow, and we will 100% find out what is beyond that door, and hopefully we'll even get some trial time in as well. All right. So thank you ever so much for tuning in. To JFC, Burnsy, Mr. Gently Benevolent. I think I said not Moriarty. Yeah, let me start that again. From JFC to Not Moriarty, Burnsy, Maverick, Mr. Gently Benevolent. I think I saw Marina briefly. Tash popped in. We also had Janet also stopped by very briefly as well. Murgood, of course. Murgood. And to everybody who is catching this on the replay, thank you very much. I will see you guys tomorrow. But until next time, take care and goodbye. For now.